Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, continuing our discussion with the engineer Salman. Now, sir, Egypt has been really aiming for the title an energy hub, really looking forward and working on, I mean, with the discovery of the Zohr gas field, the establishment of the 3 electrical power plants, trying to export energy to different parts of the world. So, and now with renewable energy as well. So maybe now the demand for electrical energy is high, is at its peak, 5% as you've managed, a 5% increase during the summer season, but it won't be the case for the rest of the year. And if we do produce more electrical energy and produce more renewable energy, there will be excess. So the question is, we're now working on expanding and increasing the production of renewable energy. But if we have an excess of renewable energy, now comes the point of trying to store it. So what are our plans? What's the country's strategy in terms of storing renewable energy?
Okay, thank you very much, really, for your questions that you are digging. Okay.
It's renewable questions, very sustainable.
Okay. The point I would like to comment regarding to the Siemens company, Siemens power plants.
Yes.
Siemens power plants is a combined cycle that have a highest efficiency power plant all over the grid in Egypt. That makes saving a huge amount of fuel. You cannot imagine if we haven't Siemens power plants and we use the normal or the traditional power plants that we have with the efficiency of 40 or 45% instead of 58%. We will use more than what we have consumed now from fuel.
Yes.
So at that time, the load shedding will be higher. So the Siemens power plant as a solution really for the supply side management with high efficient. Okay, so this is I would like to consider regarding to the Siemens. I can tell you we increased the load. The load increased by, or let me, by the energy growth. The energy growth will increase by 27%. This is a study from 2014 to 2022. Okay?
Yes.
The growth rate of energy was 27%. We should consume or consumed fuel regarding to this 27 around this value, but due to Siemens power plants we only consumed 1.7 only percent, 107%, but the growth of energy 127%. So this means we saved a lot of fuel due to the improvement of efficiency of power plants. Okay, this is regarding to the Siemens. One more point regarding to the storage system.
Yes.
There is a fact for renewable energy, if it is wind or PV system, it is intermittent. In normal power plants or traditional power plants, the power plant is responsive to the load. Once load comes, then the power plant increase the generation to meet this demand. Okay, but in wind or PV system is the vice versa.
Yes.
What have been generated of electricity, you should accept it, or they do not accept.
Yes.
So it is the leader here is the PV and wind. This is the energy I can produce to you. You want to use it or not? Whatever it is, it's your question. So to make this balance and to control this, we should use the storage system. Storage system. We have a project in Suez, which is 2.4 giga, a pump storage system. It is just at off-peak, we generate the pumps and produce water or raise the water at a certain level. And once we need discharging this, we can reverse the water. Then pumps can be a turbine and generate electricity. So this is also long time we have, but we didn't. It is in a study. Okay, so 2.4 giga storage system can be also. It needs at least 3 to 5 years to be erected.
Yes.
Okay. But there is different types of storage also can be used, like batteries in large scale or in utility scale or even in the home. One more point to cover all these issues regarding to the CSP, the concentrated solar plants. This is a solution, a good solution, and really it's a competitive price now. The kilowatt hours produced by CSP is a competitive to the traditional power plants. And I want also to tell you also good news, really, Egypt is going on the way, but sometimes there is some delay, but it is on the way. Regarding to the CSP, there are declare or advertisement that there will be 5 CSP plants will be erected in the north of Egypt, at the north coast of Egypt. So this will be also built in a separate network, will not connect it to the grid. And this will be better also. Maybe interconnection between the 5 CSP, this will be helpful. CSP can use it with the storage itself. They can use it with the storage itself. And sometimes we can use a supplementary fuel also for the shortage or for a part of night. Okay. And this is the CSP as a good solution, but also should be done with the investors.
Yes.
And who will take this electricity? Who will the off-taker of this electricity? They should understand that it is not as cheap as the normal one. It will be higher, but if it is, the north coast. Is a different level.
Well, one final question, because we are running out of time now. In most, if not all, of the solutions you have mentioned, it is a question of finance and investment, and you've spoken about the liberalization of the sector. So this begs the private sector to really step in and take a bigger role, play a bigger role within the distribution and the productivity of it, and luring foreign investors and really working on the infrastructure. So the balance of how can we actually attract the private sector to chip in within the energy sector, and at the same time make sure they do achieve their margins of profit, and at the same time not exploit the Egyptian citizens, and make sure everyone's happy, everyone's content. How hard is it to reach that balance?
This is a business, and there is a regulator. He can control this market. If it is a qualified customer, he can purchase the power from a certain supplier, or unqualified customer who will connect it with the governmental company, which is supported by the state or by the country. But it is in progress, and just we create the environment and regulate the market, then the investor will come. And we need the investor to make a profit.
Yes,
no problem. This is, but it is should be considered the also normal. This is the normal way. There's ROI, a certain value, and we see this is the value can be considered really in the market.
Yes.
And also really, believe me, the market in Egypt is very competitive. If the liberalization of the market done is a competitive, and several investors will come. Once we declared regarding to the PV system, hundreds, I will not say tens of companies or tens of investors come to share and to invest, but hundreds of companies. So you have the choice to select.
Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, obviously a very lively and important sector, the energy sector, a lot of aspects, the electrical power plants, the fossil fuels, the renewable energy, a lot of huge room for the private sector to hop in the market and really work on expanding and benefiting the Egyptian economy and the Egyptian society at large. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this edition of the Daily Debate. But before we go, I'd like to thank my guest, Engineer Mohamed Selim Salman, the renewable energy consultant and member of the Board of Directors of the Arab Council for Sustainable Energy. Engineer Salman, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Appreciate it, really.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for more